The Fox and the Sour Grapes. Reynard the Fox, known for his clever mind and a tail as bushy as a winter bush, often found himself in a pickle. Not a literal pickle, mind you, but a situation where his cunning wasn't quite enough. He lived on the edge of a bustling human village, where the scents of freshly baked bread and ripe fruit often wafted tantalizingly through the air. One scorching summer afternoon, Reynard was particularly parched. He had searched high and low for a cool stream, but the heat had dried them all up. His tongue felt like sandpaper, and his usual spring in his step was replaced by a weary shuffle. Just as he was about to give up, a sight caught his eye. Over a stone wall, in a human's garden, hung the most magnificent bunch of grapes he had ever seen. They were plump, purple, and glistening with dew, promising a burst of sweet, refreshing juice. Reynard's eyes lit up. Aha, he thought, my thirst shall be quenched. He approached the wall with renewed vigor, his tail wagging with anticipation. He could almost taste the sweet relief. He leaped, stretching his paws as high as they could reach. But the wall was taller than he expected, and the grapes hung just out of his grasp. He tried again, a more powerful jump this time, scrabbling at the rough stone, but still, his efforts were in vain. He jumped and jumped, his muscles aching, his jumps growing weaker with each attempt. The grapes, though so close, remained stubbornly out of reach. Frustration gnawed at him, turning his initial excitement into a bitter disappointment. Finally, with a huff, Reynard stopped. He sat down, pretending to groom a paw, but his eyes kept darting back to the tantalizing fruit. He couldn't admit defeat, not Reynard the clever fox. Those grapes? He scoffed, loud enough for any passing squirrel or bird to hear, though none were around. Why, they're probably sour anyway. Green and unripe, not worth the effort. He wrinkled his nose in disgust. He stood up, stretched languidly, and began to walk away, his tail held high. Only a fool would want such sour grapes, he muttered to himself, trying to convince himself more than anyone else. But deep down, as he continued his thirsty journey, Reynard knew the truth. The grapes had looked perfectly ripe and delicious. His cleverness hadn't failed him, his reach had. And sometimes, when we can't get what we want, it's easier to pretend we didn't want it at all.